morning and welcome back to Business Over Breakfast. It's been a minute. Lori, how are you?
It's been a little minute. I am good. The last time we were here, I couldn't speak, which is always really hard for me.
Oh my God, that's right. How are you feeling?
Man, oh man. Well, I didn't have COVID, but I totally had an upper respiratory infection. Took me down for 3 weeks. I ended up with all sorts of things to take and inhalers, and made it through. Feeling good, feeling ready to kind of take down the pace a little this year and be
normal. Well, I mean, you went hard in 2021. How was Happy New Year, first of all.
Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to everyone that watches our show, and God,
watches and listens to our show. Just a reminder that you can get this as a podcast every Wednesday morning. Every Wednesday morning after there's a show. Obviously, we took a little bit of a holiday hiatus.
Yeah.
So you can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you find podcasts. I have gone 2022. I know 2022. We're gonna stop, but 2022. I've decided to explode with the amount of podcasts that I'm doing. As you might have been able to notice by my social media.
Yeah, I see it.
Anyway, how are you? What do you want? What are we talking about today?
One of the things that you said that I was like, wait, let's just back up for a second. So our show has changed over the year, and it's kind of amazing. Like, we started this feels like a decade ago, just chatting about the state of business in Rhode Island. We were like deep in our first bout with COVID, and now we have a podcast. So I was just, when you said Wednesday, I'm like, okay, can you tell me exactly like where this is being seen and how people can listen to it? Because you're the producer and and I just like sit here and talk, and I'd love to hear that.
Sure. Yeah. So every Tuesday morning live at 9, you can watch this on Facebook Live and YouTube on the Shop Local channels. And then you can also get the audio version of it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and Stitcher and everywhere that you find podcasts. Every podcast app that you know and love will pick it up with the RSS feed. So you can get it there. There's a whole lot you can do. We're everywhere. It's hard to, there's no escaping us.
We're everywhere. We're everywhere.
Yeah. I would blame my hyperactivity this morning on like coffee. It's not coffee, but and this is caffeine-free herbal tea. So
wait, so what are we?
This is just me.
Hyperactivity on
this is just ADHD, I guess. And
ADHD, Ben. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm halfway done on this gigantic cup of coffee, so I'm getting there.
Very nice. Very nice. Hello, Karen. Good to see you. Thank you for commenting. So 2021 was a big year for Shop Local Rhode Island. Obviously, you started it in 2020, right at the onset of COVID, as RI thrives.
I know, isn't that crazy?
And just a collection of businesses, just letting people know where they can get gift certificates, where they can help. Where they can help small businesses in Rhode Island online. And then it morphed into Shop Local Rhode Island. And then in 2021, it became this marketplace that you launched, this behemoth of a website. And that
could have been what took me down in December.
I mean, probably. Yeah. So what is next for 2022 for you?
Yeah. So one of the things I always do with clients is I ask them this question, what at the end of a year will have you high-fiving each other and celebrating and toasting champagne and saying, we did it, we got there. And it's just one thing that kind of you keep in your mind, keep in your vision. So last year for us, our celebration point was having a marketplace that was actually selling products and taking on vendors. And so at the end, and that is the foundation of the marketplace, but we have 2,000 businesses in Shop Local just on the directory. So, getting people to start saying, oh, okay, I'm going to start selling my stuff. That was a big ask. So anyway, we have 400 products on the site now available. And so, all right, there you go. We were high-fiving and just being like, how the heck did this even come around? I mean, really, we all just, at the end of December, we were like, yep, we did it. Okay, see you later. See you next year. So that's kind of where we were.
That reminds me of so I was a big wrestling fan my entire life growing up, and one of the things, like, so WrestleMania is their Super Bowl, right? But the difference between like the Super Bowl, the World Series, and all of this stuff, this big ultimate event that you have, is that it's the end of everything for everyone else, and they had TV on Monday night. Like, it would be WrestleMania on Sunday, and you'd have this like big end of the story, like whatever. And then Monday night, everybody had to show up to work and wrestle and start new things. And that's exactly what this sounds like. Like, December was this, like, oh my God, we made it through 2021. We have we've come so far with the marketplace. Things are going well. We've gotten some acknowledgement. You won the Tech 10 award. You got
we got funding from Commerce.
You got the stamp of approval from Commerce.
Yeah.
All of these wonderful things, and you're like, we did it. And then January 1st rolls around, and you're like, and now there's a lot more work to do.
Yeah, okay. I know, exactly. And we part of the funding piece is, let's make it a lot easier than what it was initially set up to do. So I think for anyone that sees the site, they're going to see a lot of streamlined processes, a lot more putting the community pages and the directory itself up front, a lot more engagement within the site. So yeah, we're going to really, it's like we built it up and now we're going to take it down. So I think, as most people know, like when you hire a firm, let's say, to do something that you've never done, the learning curve is so huge. And so we're listening to the experts saying, oh, okay, this is what you need. And now you need this, and you have to be able to do this. And the more we engage with the vendors and the selling process, we started to realize, no, this is a Rhode Island site. So we don't need like all the international tax stuff. We don't need all the major shipping things that we had. And so it was kind of like getting clunky in a bunch of areas. And so we just, I wrote the grant to really just streamline the site. So we got the funding to make that happen, and that's kind of what I look forward to. And we hired a Pawtucket-based software development team. So yeah, that was
very nice
part too. Yeah, but it does feel like that. It feels like, all right, here we go again. But we're pacing it now because, we also run a marketing business and we have to. Well, I
know nothing about any of this.
So let's. You said I really want to hear, like, what did you get to at the end of the year where you were just like in your WrestleMania?
Nothing. It feels like it's always felt like it never stops for me. I have like whenever there's big projects, and this has been this way for me since well, I mean, sports as a child, and then theater as a teen and adult, producing all of the theater that I've done. There are like tentpole events, so the end of the year never really is super significant. It's more about the seasons of things.
Yeah.
And And so like for this year, the Washington County Fair was a massive undertaking of,
Yeah.
8 straight days of producing a show that had to go live every morning at 8 a.m. That was like an hour, and I was spending all day filming myself and then editing myself and then taking all of the B-roll and trying to tell the story and do justice to the fair. And so like when sort of tentpole events like that happen,
Mm-hmm.
those sort of take up a large amount of time. The one thing that I think has been interesting about 2021 is that so many, not to the level of the Washington County Fair, because it was 5 days of live and 8 days total of filming and editing and all of that stuff for every single day. But there are so many of those like tentpole events now. Like 3 weeks after the Washington County Fair, I was doing Fall Fest at Musqueamicut Beach, and it
Oh
was
my God.
the
Yeah.
same thing. But at that point, like, you get into the rhythm of it,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, strap on my mask, get my hand sanitizer, get all of my equipment, get my drone, go out, film
Yeah.
a bunch of B-roll, get the GoPro, get
It was great.
do all of this stuff, come home, get the thing, edit it, do this, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, do it all again. And that's kind of, so right now I'm in this weird I'm in this weird like perpetual motion of meetings and networking and new situations for 2022, which is really, really cool. And we are growing and expanding 321, which we just started to get off the ground at the end of the year. But I would say that right now we have this massive event coming up that we sort of put ourselves in the position for on our own, which is the Rock the House fundraiser for the Ronald McDonald House of New England. And Lori dropped off. Lori froze. So let me just. Hey, Lori, you froze. You're back.
Okay. I think your high energy just like went through the ether.
Yeah.
Shut it
There you
all
go.
down.
I'm checking my internet connection to make sure it's you and not me. And yeah, I have 580 megabytes per second. I'm good. So
I don't even know how to do that. So
go to fast. Here's a tip for everybody. If you want to check
Okay.
your internet really quick, go on a separate browser page tab.
Yep.
Go to fast.com.
All right.
I'll wait.
Fast.com.
I'll
Got
wait.
it.
I have 3 computers and multiple other devices around me at all times. I need to know like what everything is happening. I actually have a 4th computer over there that I haven't used in a while.
Powered by Netflix.
Yep.
Okay. So what am I looking at here?
It's going to give you a number automatically.
Oh, okay. So it says 95.
95? You should be good. You might have to restart your computer.
Oh. Is that
All
what
right.
is, I mean, tell us what that means.
So anything over 20 should be fine for should be really good for streaming. But other things can happen, which is why I think that this might be a CPU processing thing for you on your end right now. Which is why I would just restart the computer at this point. Or it could be the camera. I know that you have like the nice cameras plugged in, so maybe it's not handling that well. Maybe you need to clear off your computer a little bit. Yeah.
And Scott's in his office running videos and rendering and on Zoom right now, so that's probably
So that might be exactly. So that's stressing out your internet a little bit. And I actually just had to get a new computer. So we switched to this. This is actually the church's computer. One of the churches that I work with. This other computer over here. I don't want to grab it because it's like. But it's a really Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like hardwired into the internet and stuff, so I'm not gonna touch it.
Yeah.
But it's like the strongest computer that I've ever seen in my life. We switched for one of the churches, the biggest church that I work for. We switched to this system where there are multiple PTZ pan tilt zoom cameras
Yeah.
that are all around the room, and that I control the cameras from my house.
Yeah, I love that.
So it's very cool. However, all three of them have to come in through what's called an RTMP stream.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes into a mini server, that goes into a port on a modem, and that goes into a mini server that then decodes all of those signals, and then that goes into OBS or vMix, and then that then connects to StreamYard via virtual camera or virtual audio cameras, or to Vimeo, and then that pushes it out to all the social channels. Meanwhile, I have to do graphics on a separate website that is integrated into the broadcasting software.
Yeah.
And on the and then I have to use, so I'm using 3 computers now for church on Sunday mornings.
Mm.
There's the church to decode everything and to
The
switch
church.
cameras and produce the thing.
The church
Then
that decode. That's kind of like a metaphor.
then
But
then I use my Mac to control 3 cameras so that I can like move them to different positions and stuff. And then I use this computer to do all the graphics that have to pop up that say the readings and the priest's name and stuff. It's like flying a plane for an hour and a half.
yeah. So
Um,
what happens when all those different pieces come together?
It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful when all of them come together. But that's why this computer was bought. This, not this one that I'm on, but this other
Yeah.
computer. That's why this computer was bought, because the first time we switched over to the new system, and this is a good computer,
Yeah.
right? Like, this MacBook Pro is really nice, and
What I have.
and but it doesn't run some of the broadcast software. And this PC is very nice, but it couldn't handle the graphics and the and everything all at once. So the first time that we tried to do church with the new system, it what was happening with you right now happened, where everything
Whoa.
got fuzzy and the sound got off, and
Yeah.
it was bad. So it looked terrible, and I was like, no, the system is perfect. The system is perfect. The computer just can't handle everything that we're throwing at it right now.
Yeah.
So we got a new computer for it, and then this Sunday, mwah,
Yeah.
chef's kiss.
That's good.
It was fantastic.
Mwah.
Yeah.
I love
Anyway, so
it. Really cool.
but to sorry for that tangent, because what I wanted to talk about.
Well, you totally lost me, but I think that that's going to be helpful for people out there thinking about, a lot of times when anybody kind of looks at video or looks at a live event or sees something, to realize that there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen in the back end of things. We we just received a hard drive from a client, and it's like 6 hours of like event video, and they hired someone to do the video but nothing else. So now we're looking at this like, oh my God, okay, how do we make a story out of this? How does this actually like get put out, like the Washington County Fair and and the Misquamicut Fest? I mean, those are events that have to like make sense to people watching them.
Yep.
But
anytime you can, as a so for a business or an organization that's looking to do that, anytime you can hire the same people to film and edit something, the better off you are.
yeah,
Especially on a local level, on a smaller level, because you want people that know the story while they're filming.
yeah,
And when they're editing, they can take the context of what they were watching when they filmed it and make it into this.
yeah,
It's a lot easier.
yeah, a lot
It's a lot
easier.
easier for everybody.
That's kind of like the we were talking the other day about just strategic planning in general. And I think that is one of the reasons, and we both do it. So I'm really happy that we partner on this because the value that talking to a client in advance on what their vision is, what they're thinking about moving forward, allows the producers of content, me, you know, our companies, to really understand where this story is going, where that company, that business, that person wants to go, what they want to talk about in their brand, not our brand.
Yep.
Um,
Absolutely.
but yeah, it's there's a lot of back end stuff that happens there.
There's so much back end stuff. I did a TikTok vlog yesterday, which is
Yeah.
a sentence that doesn't make sense. But I did a little day in the life thing for Monday yesterday, and I was like, Mondays are the most boring day when you look at my content and how everything goes.
Yeah.
Mondays seem like the most boring day, and it doesn't feel like a work day to me as much
No,
because there's no
boring.
live.
I know what you're going to say, right? No
Because
live. Boring on your
lives,
calendar.
there's no lives and whatever, and so like there's no like high energy pressure to like make things happen well. But it is the day that I'm sitting here doing like admin work and editing and graphic creation for 20 clients and like all of that stuff, and like it's the days that I have so many meetings on and my
Yeah.
head is spinning at the end of the day. It's the actual work, but I don't think of it as work because this is the fun part. I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah. But that kind of work, I love days like that. I love to look at my calendar. We have clients that can book right into my calendar. So I do try and block days for time like that.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do? Like, one thing I really like is to just put on some of my favorite music, kind of come into a more creative mode, and just really dive into each client's work and refine. I love that. Like, do you listen to music? Do
I
you listen
do.
to
So
podcasts?
if you watch the video, if you watch the TikTok video from yesterday, at one point when I'm working at my computer, I'm very clearly mouthing the words to a Maisie Peters song. But the so I will usually put on instrumental music.
Mm.
So whether that's, I really like the live YouTube channels, like Chill Hop, for example, of like lo-fi or jazz. I really like, there's a rainy jazz channel,
Oh, cool.
and it's
I'm gonna write
jazz
that down.
and the sound of the rain in the background. So it's as if like it's beautiful.
You know,
Um
my son is a jazz musician.
I did not know that. Why have we
Yeah,
not talked about that more?
I don't know. He's so cool.
Well,
Yeah, he lives in
that's
Portland,
amazing.
Maine. He's a jazz musician. He has a degree in jazz guitar.
Oh,
Um,
that's awesome.
yeah, but he always sends me his favorite Pandora station. So we'll have to do an exchange one day because I love the idea of rainy jazz.
Would he be interested in playing a few songs for our live stream fundraiser that we're
When
doing? February 5th.
he will actually be in Cairo, Egypt.
Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. He has so his cousins, um, and both one of his cousins runs a business there, and their dad is from Cairo, and so the older of the two went there, started a business, and then met a girl. You know, it's always going to be like business or a girl or business or a boy. Like, that's the thing that moves us. And so anyway, met a girl, got married, has a house. So now my son Jordan is going to go and spend a month with them in Cairo. So he's actually taking a break because Portland, Maine, jazz, live music in the summer is kind of like a whole year of music bundled up into 3 months. So,
Yep.
you know, you got to
Yeah.
make hay when the sun shines. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, he probably would, but I will. I'm giving him that break, that space and time.
When you said that your clients can book directly into your calendar. Let's talk about that for a second, because I
Yeah.
just recently started
I,
using an app like that,
I love it.
or
You use what we use.
is it the same thing?
Yep.
Nice.
Give a
And
shout out to
yeah,
Calendly.
absolutely. Just shout out the company.
Yeah, Calendly, amazing.
It's
Out of
fantastic.
Atlanta. This guy created this app, and it's so easy to use. It's so nice. I love it so much, and I love the way you have it set up too, because usually we'll set it up for like one link
Yep.
on one type of email, and
Yep.
so I like the way you set it up where you click the link and it kind of allows you to like, oh, I mean, I could have joined all your podcasts if I wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I just wanted to talk to you. So
Yeah, and actually I changed that a little bit now. It's it's pretty cool. You can right now you can set up a one-to-one meeting with me, a quick chat, which is only 15 minutes. Which I love. I want everyone to normalize short meetings.
yes.
We don't all need to meet for an hour every single time we need to
Oh, I
talk about
know.
anything.
Oh,
We don't
here's a great idea on the quick chat. So, Carrie Majewski, who runs the Women in Leadership Nexus, of which I am a member, obviously all women running businesses or working in the high end of businesses. Really great group. Really supportive group. I love the problem solving inside this group. It's just great. So she challenged herself to I want to say 50 coffees with people that she didn't know, and she writes about it and how it was just like these very short meetings, quick chat meetings. Let's get together, let's know each other, let's make sure we understand like how to expand our connections.
Yep.
And she is like connector personified. She's just so great. Anyway, so I love when you said quick chat. I was like, oh yeah, that's such a great idea. When you just said like, let's shorten these meetings because a lot can be accomplished in short meetings. The other,
Yeah.
sorry, now I'm going to be devil's advocate because the other side of that is we never get to see each other. So
Right.
sometimes when I set up meetings with people, I feel like a chunk of that time is what the heck is going on in your world, and you don't want to lose that type of connection either. So I think I'm always trying to balance that kind of stuff because I could easily be like, let's just chat, or no, we're gonna get shit done.
Absolutely. Yeah. And saying, hey, we're only going to have a 15-minute meeting does that. It puts just a little bit of pressure on you to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
So all right, well we're coming to the end of the first episode of this, and we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled guests
Yeah.
next week, I believe. But
Yeah, next week we have Marta Martinez, who is executive director of the Rhode Island Latino Arts Museum. She's written a book on Latino history in Rhode Island, and she's really wonderful.
that's
If
awesome.
you're an artist, if you want to get involved, you'll learn a lot about this organization.
Very cool. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with Shop Local.
Well, Shop Local is we're in the breakdown mode right now. So we're evaluating the back end. We are still getting vendors set up. We are still, the cool thing about Shop Local is we're a marketing organization running Shop Local. And so every product, every business that interacts with us as a vendor or in the directory or on this podcast or in our Local Look podcast will get marketing attached to that. So we send out social media. All our social media, if you look on Instagram, is about other businesses that are involved in Shop Local. If you look at our newsletter, it's about what Shop Local is doing for the businesses of Shop Local. So there's a big platform there. Right now, we're all in the back end taking shit away. and making it easier and easier and faster and nicer for our vendors and our shoppers.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So for 321 right now, we are booking new podcast clients, which has been very fun and led to a ridiculous amount of meetings for me so far in January. But the thing that we're most excited about is this Rock the House fundraiser,
Oh,
uh,
cool.
which is so it's to benefit the Ronald McDonald House Charities of New England, which is an amazing organization. Obviously, everybody knows, or I assume everybody knows about the Ronald McDonald House. They support families, especially families of children who are in need, who are at Hasbro and Boston Children's Hospitals. And this is a live stream telethon event to benefit the Ronald McDonald House Charities New England. 100% of the donations all go directly to help the families in need. And this is going to be from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., an 8-hour live stream with live music, comedy, trivia, games, a lot of fun. It's going to be hosted by me and my who obviously I am from Rhode Island.
Wait, who are
And
you?
and my friend Brian Saviano, aka Bricks O'Brien, who is a family-friendly online content creator from Boston. So we're bringing Rhode Island and Boston together the
Nice.
same way that the Ronald McDonald House New England does.
That's so
Um,
super important.
my Thank you. My business partner Patrick is running the Boston Marathon, which was the catalyst for this fundraiser. He's running the Boston Marathon on behalf of the Ronald McDonald House.
Wow.
Uh, in 2014, he and his family stayed at the Ronald McDonald House for 90 days. When their first child, was born months and months premature. And so the Ronald McDonald House means a lot to us. It means a lot to Pat, and we're really, really excited to be able to do this fundraiser and to give back and to help other families that are in the same situation.
Yeah.
And sometimes worse situations than Pat and his family were in then. So every little bit helps. You can find out more information on that by going to 321.media/fundraiser. And
321.media
321.media/fundraiser.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's really so it's funny. I'm bringing my kids in here, but my daughter is a pediatric nephrologist at UC San Francisco, but deals with families that need places to stay because they have kids that are in the hospital, and that is so 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 important. I can't even imagine. We all say there, but for the grace of God go I. And
Yep.
we gotta support each other on this. It's hard.
So one of the fun things about this telethon is that Pat's running the Boston Marathon in April on behalf of the Ronald McDonald House fundraiser. He's going to run a marathon just for fun while we're doing this. While we're doing this fundraiser.
Wait,
So
does any people really do run marathons for fun? That's a
they
thing.
do. They do. So the original idea, and we decided that it was too cold for February 5th and he might hurt himself,
Yeah.
was to run from the Boston Ronald McDonald House to the Providence Ronald McDonald House, which is 55 miles. It's 2 marathons. It's 2 marathons in
Does
length.
he get to sleep somewhere?
No, it would just be like 7 hours straight of running. And we decided probably not the best idea for February.
No.
Probably not the best idea for February. And especially when he has to actually run the Boston Marathon 6 weeks after that.
Yeah.
So so he's instead going to be in studio running it on a treadmill. And we're going to keep checking back. Brian and I are going to keep checking back in with him in between musical guests, and it should be really funny
It's unbelievable.
to watch him. I mean, most people run a marathon and it's like the hardest thing that they've ever done in their entire life. And I
Yeah.
think that that's still going to be true, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's a triathlon athlete, so he's an endurance athlete in general. But I think that it's really funny that he's going to be running a marathon, and we're going to keep putting a camera in his face
Oh my
the whole
God.
time,
I
and he's
can't
going to have to talk.
imagine.
Like
Yeah.
he's going to have to talk while running a marathon. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, that is good. I like it. Wow. Wow. That's a big
Um,
undertaking. All right. I can't wait to
y-
see it.
so it should be a lot of fun, and it's for such an amazing cause.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Now, how old is his child? Is his child going to be
7.
like jumping up on the Oh, 7. Oh, all right.
7.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, it was that was so PJ is his oldest child, and yeah, that was 7 years ago
wow.
that they were in the Ronald McDonald House.
Awesome.
So yeah, maybe, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Pat's wife thinks about his son being in the live stream. But I'm sure that PJ would love to jump all over the treadmill and try to mess up his dad from making it through the marathon live
Oh my
on there.
God. That's great.
And
Oh,
yeah,
I
it should be
love that. That is great. I can't wait to see it.
thanks. It's gonna be simulcast on a bunch of different social channels, a lot like the Newport Craft Beer Fest that we did that
Yeah.
you and I did
Yeah.
together a couple years ago.
Yeah. I was thinking of some
So,
of those musicians. It might be
y-
great to reach out to.
yeah, absolutely. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well,
Good
thank you,
work.
Lori.
Yeah.
And you know, this we harped on it a lot during the holiday season. I kept saying that if you just get one gift extra that you or one get not even an extra gift, but one gift that you were going to get, if you just made sure that you bought that locally, it would
Oh,
make all of the
yes.
difference in the world.
Yeah.
And now, you know, things are uncertain. Um, the the cases in Rhode Island right now are 300% of their peaks from last year.
I know. It
They're
is crazy.
they're 300% of their peaks from last year. Now, uh, the government, like, think what you want about the mandates, and like I'm not here to talk about politics, but everyone's trying to do their best to not shut down businesses, to not do that, but consumer confidence, people being afraid to go out,
Yeah.
people being quarantined, people being mitigated, people being sick with COVID and not being able to come to work. A lot of small businesses are struggling right now. A lot of your friends and neighbors in Rhode Island are struggling right now. Rhode Island's rates are absolutely through the roof, and if you can do one thing to help your community, obviously wear a
Yeah.
mask, get vaccinated. If
Yeah.
you can do one thing to help your business community, wear a mask, get vaccinated, and shop local when you can.
Yes.
Absolutely shop local when you can. And Shop Local Rhode Island gives you the ability to have the convenience of a big box realtor, a retailer, a big box online behemoth like Amazon, but with
Yeah.
none of the
All
guilt.
the guilt.
None of the guilt, all of the convenience. Shop Local
No,
Rhode
it's
Island.
like even,
You know,
yeah, both sides, shoppers and vendors.
yep,
Because I mean, I think, yeah, anyway, I won't belabor the point. It's obviously a labor of love for us, and
yep,
we take it on. It's really cool.
absolutely. And it's amazing what you do. So I would recommend to everybody. I mean, shop local when you can. And by the way, Shop Local Rhode Island is a fantastic tool, and obviously Lori, you know, are that's the catalyst behind this show, and we want you to use Shop Local Rhode Island. But seriously, this is a crisis, and everyone needs your help in Rhode Island.
Right?
So please wear a mask, get
Yeah.
vaccinated. If you're vaccinated, get boosted,
Yeah.
and buy local. Go support local businesses when you can, if you feel comfortable going out and doing that. And when you don't, and when you can't, you know, get takeout from a local restaurant instead of Domino's. Get delivery from the places that offer
Yeah.
delivery themselves instead of DoorDash. You know,
Stay
there are a
south.
lot of things that you can do. You know, there are
Yeah.
a lot of things that you
There
can
really
do.
are. And you know what? You reach out to any local company. Well, I say DASAP because that's a Providence County
Yes,
delivery system.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember talking to
I
them.
love them. Even we order from them a lot. And now the driver comes and he goes, "Oh, you really like that restaurant, right?" We're like, "Oh yes, we definitely." But you get amazing food from Providence restaurants. And that's what we should be all doing. Yeah. So I mean, our goal is to just have that be the go-to place eventually. God, we could talk so much about Shop Local Rhode Island. I would say any local vendor, owner, business is going to be willing to make those sales and serve. That's
A-
period.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lori. I'll see you
All right.
next week.
Thanks, Ben. All right. Bye, everyone. Shop local.
Shop local. All right, guys, that's it for this week of Business Over Breakfast. We will see you next week with another wonderful guest. Thank you. Stay safe out there and help support your local community.